My wife hates my female best friend? I've been friends with Zoe for 15 years, since we were co-workers at my first marketing job out of college. She's the one person who really gets me. Same dark humor, same obscure indie movies, finish each other's sentences, can talk for hours about everything and nothing. Zoe's been single most of the time I've known her. Despite being gorgeous and successful, she'd date guys here and there, but nothing ever stuck long term. When I started dating Rachel 4 years ago, things were fine initially. Rachel even said she liked how close Zoe and I were, that it showed I was capable of deep friendships. But after we got engaged 2 years ago, everything changed drastically. Rachel started making pointed comments about how much time I spent texting Zoe throughout the day, how my whole face would light up when Zoe called, how I constantly brought up funny things Zoe said or cute things she did. I thought Rachel was being insecure and irrational. Zoe had been there through everything. My worst breakups, my quarter-life crisis, held my hand when my dad died of cancer. She's more than family to me. She actually understands my dreams, fears, and weird quirks in ways my biological family never bothered to. Rachel kept escalating her complaints, said it was completely inappropriate that Zoe and I had hundreds of inside jokes Rachel didn't understand, that we texted each other goodnight almost every single night, that I visibly seemed happier and more energetic after spending time with Zoe than I ever did at home with her. Things got bad when Zoe went through job struggles last year. She'd call daily, sometimes crying, asking for advice. I'd spend hours talking her through anxiety and depression. Rachel started timing these calls, saying I gave Zoe more emotional support than my own wife. I told Rachel she was ridiculous. Of course I care about Zoe. She's my best friend. When someone you love is struggling, you help them. The breaking point came 3 months ago when Zoe got a job offer in Seattle, literally across the entire country from us. I was completely devastated, genuinely heartbroken in a way that shocked me. I couldn't eat for 3 days thinking about her leaving. I couldn't sleep imagining my life without her constant presence. Our daily texts, our weekend coffee dates, our late night phone calls when either of us couldn't sleep. When Zoe told me about the offer over dinner at our usual Italian place, I actually started tearing up right there in public. I begged her not to take it, offered to help her find something local, said I'd even give her money if she needed it. I told her she couldn't abandon me, that I genuinely needed her here. Rachel witnessed this and went completely blank, like she was seeing me clearly for the first time. That night, Rachel said I had to choose. Either Zoe moves away and I cut contact, or she wants a divorce. She couldn't compete with someone I was clearly in love with, even if I was too blind to see it. I was furious. Told Rachel she was controlling and jealous, that if she couldn't handle me having a close female friend, maybe we weren't compatible. Rachel went quiet, then asked, if you had to save one of us from a burning building, who would you choose? I hesitated. Just a split second, but I hesitated. Rachel saw it, started crying, and said she had her answer. She said she finally understood she wasn't the most important woman in my life and never would be. She moved out the next week. I've been staying with Zoe while figuring things out. She's been absolutely amazing, cooking elaborate versions of my favorite meals that Rachel never bothered to learn, letting me vent about the divorce for hours without judgment, stocking my favorite craft beer, putting on comfort movies, holding me when I cry about everything falling apart. Yesterday, Zoe was comforting me on her couch after I'd completely broken down about how empty and wrong everything felt without Rachel. I was sobbing about losing my marriage, about failing as a husband, about not knowing who I even was anymore. She looked into my eyes and said, you know I've been waiting for this moment for 15 years, right? I've been in love with you since we met. Before I could process it, she kissed me, and I kissed her back like I'd been drowning and she was air. Everything Rachel said was true. I am in love with Zoe. Always have been. I just convinced myself it was friendship, because acknowledging the truth meant admitting I'd married the wrong person. Rachel knew before I did.